It's time for you to channel your inner Italian grandma because we are going to make a delicious chicken francese. Lots of lemon, tasty sauce, and maybe we'll serve it up with some pasta on the side. This Italian-American dish is so incredibly simple to make. It's a great weeknight meal and also a great weekend meal if you want to impress some family or guests. Let's not waste any time. Let's get straight to prepping. Sound good? Let's cook.
Would it even be a Chef Billy Parisi recipe if I didn't start off with some onions? We are going to prep up one shallot, slice off the ends, and then slice it in half. And then oftentimes in the middle of shallots, you'll find like a bigger one and a smaller one. To me, it's all one shallot. It's not two separate. What we're going to do is small dice this. We are getting prepared for the sauce. That is what this is for. Set it to the side in a bowl. Next, I have 3 garlic cloves. You already know it's going straight through a garlic press. Yes, of course, you can absolutely finely mince this with a knife. Set it to the side, and then the next thing I have are 2 whole lemons, which we're going to slice in half. What we want to do is squeeze the juice out of these. Make sure you get every last drop. It should total about a 1/4 cup. Sometimes, though, you got to go fishing if you lose a seed, so get your spoon out, discard the seed, no problem. Set it to the side. Now for the chicken, I have 4 8 to 10 ounce chicken breasts here. What we want to do though is slice them in half. So remove them from the plate right onto your cutting board, and then using a very sharp knife, chef knife, or even a boning knife, we want to put our hand on the top of it and then slice through widthwise just like this. Your hand is there so that it doesn't move. Be sure to slice slowly, okay? Take the time to do this. We're not in a hurry. Just to show you again up close how thin it is. Here we go. Now, we want to set these to the side on a plate, and this part is totally optional. I like to tenderize them just a little bit more. Even though they're nice and thin, I think tenderizing just helps them, make them juicier, and it will cook a little bit quicker. So add some plastic wrap to your cutting board, or even one of those zip plastic bags. Place your chicken breast on there, then I sort of double wrap the plastic on the top because it takes a little bit more of a beating, and then gently pound this out. We are not trying to flatten this or make some crazy huge cutlet, just a nice little tenderize here. Now set it to the side on a plate when it's finished. Be sure to wash your cutting board too with hot water and soap because, well, raw chicken was on it. And now for the breading. I like to use these little pie pans, just easy to get in there. We're going to add 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. And next we want to season it very well with salt and fresh cracked black pepper. Using a fork, spoon, whisk, whatever you have, mix it together until it's combined. And what I always like to say is, stick your finger there and try it. It should be seasoned and flavorful. Great. And now in a separate little pie tin, I have 3 large cold eggs. Just like the flour, want to season well with salt and fresh cracked black pepper. Obviously, you can't taste this until it's done cooking. Using a fork or a whisk, mix it together until it's completely combined. It should be very smooth, no chunks of anything. This will ensure that our breading is perfect when we're coating up our chicken.
All right, I need to stop and say this really quickly. For other recipes where we flour, egg wash, and bread, we can set them to the side on a sheet tray until everything's breaded up and then fry it. Now, because this recipe goes flour and egg wash, we need to go straight to the pan. We cannot egg wash everything and set it to the side. It'll get slimy, it'll get crusty, won't be good, okay? So you need to do it in batches, but here's how you do it.
Let's bring everything over to our cooktop. I have a large rondeau pot. We're going to add in a 1/4 cup of olive oil. You could use another favorite oil. We're going to crank the heat to medium. Let's ensure we have everything. Okay, we have our pounded out chicken breasts, we have our flour, and then last but not least, we have our egg wash. How do we know when the oil is hot enough? When I add a little bit of flour in there and it fries, but it doesn't burn. Perfect. Starting to bread. Again, we're doing this in batches. We are going to add our chicken breast right to our seasoned flour. Give it a quick pat down on both sides, and then shake off any excess there. Transfer it over to our egg wash. Push it down on both sides until it is completely coated, just like this. Next, we're going straight into our rondeau or frying pan if you'd like. We're going to add it in there. It's going to take only 2.5 to 3 minutes per side to get golden brown and completely cooked through. This is fantastic. That's why they're so thin. It cooks so quickly. This is such a great recipe. Once they are brown, we're just going to set them to the side on a plate or a platter. It's okay if they're overlapped. They will not get soggy. Go back over to your rondeau or frying pan. We're going to add in our finely minced garlic, followed up with our small diced shallots that we cut up at the very beginning. And then we want to mix this until it is cooked and lightly brown. But because our pan is already nice and hot, we're talking maybe 1 to 2 minutes. That is it. Now, because there's so much goodness on the bottom of the pan from cooking up that chicken, it's called fond. We're going to release that by adding in 3/4 to 1 cup of white wine. I'm using a good Sicilian white wine here. A Sauvignon Blanc or even a Chardonnay would be totally fine. We are going to cook it until there's only about a half cup left over medium-high heat. This is perfect. Now we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter, followed up by adding in a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. We want to immediately mix this together. This is going to help form our roux, which is going to thicken up our sauce to perfection. Once it looks like this, you can already start to see that wine start to thicken up. Excellent. And at this point, we're going to add in 3 cups of good chicken stock. Even better yet, if you have any brodo, like in my stracciatella soup video, will absolutely take the flavor to the next level. Now let's go back and grab that 1/4 cup of lemon juice that we prepared. That's why prep is so important. So when it comes time to cooking, there's no hang-ups, no follow-ups. You are ready to roll. Now we're going to season very well with salt and fresh cracked black pepper. What this will do is help flavor up our chicken even more. This is the liquid that the chicken is going to sit in. Crank the heat up to medium-high. We'll sort of activate the roux. When it gets to a little bit of a boil, we'll make it nice and thick and rich, just like this. This is the exact consistency you'll be looking for. Now what we want to do is go back and grab our chicken. We're going to add it right to the pot. It's okay if it's double layered in the sauce. It's not going to stick. You're not going to lose your breading. Do not worry about it. And then after about 2 to 3 minutes on low heat, what I like to do is just come back and flip the chicken over. Make sure the sauce is being incorporated in there and it becomes really, really flavorful.
Just like I said in the beginning, incredibly simple. And there are a bunch of different side dishes you could serve this up with. Risotto, vegetables, potatoes. We're going to make a really quick pasta. I'm talking 3 ingredients. Here we go.
In a very large pot of boiling salted water, it should be as salty as the ocean, I'm going to add in 8 ounces of fresh pasta. You can absolutely use dried pasta, no problem. The good thing about fresh pasta is it's done cooking in about 2 minutes. Move it around to make sure nothing is sticking. That's just normal practice for what I do when cooking pasta. And then what we do once it's done is we are just going to simply come back and strain it off because it's almost time to plate this up. And we have several steps to making sure this dish is done.
Simple, fundamental cooking techniques, but when put into practice over and over again, it will absolutely elevate your everyday cooking. That is my promise to you. Breading up the chicken, taking the time to get it brown, making sure we have the perfect roux so that our sauce is nice and thick at the end. I'm telling you, again, put all these things into your everyday cooking, and the homemade food from scratch that comes from it, you're a new restaurant on the block. That honestly, everyone's going to want to come to your house. Friends, family, neighbors, you name it. This is what we do to plate this up. Let's finish off this pasta and chicken.
We want to add our drained pasta right to a pot or even a large bowl. Either will work. Next, we're going to pour on 1.5 cups of that pasta water that we just cooked the pasta in. Next, 1 cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. You could use Pecorino Romano as well if you'd like. And then using tongs, rubber spatula, or spoon, stir it together until it becomes very thick and cheesy and totally combined. To plate this up, just add it to a bowl. And then what I like to do is kind of make little nests out of it. Then garnish with a little fresh chopped parsley. You could add crushed red pepper flakes as well. Now let's go over to the chicken. What we're going to do is serve this up on a big, large platter and sort of layer it out and fan it out, one chicken breast over the other. Be sure to get several large scoops of that amazing lemony sauce in there and then pour it all over the top. This looks amazing. And then for even more lemon flavor, I like to add on little sliced lemon wheels. It looks fantastic too. And then very classically, garnish with some fresh chopped parsley. And oh my gosh, let's get in this.